is the strange liquid. Allows regeneration at a fast rate. Old governments are taking this liquid for a darker purpose. Jonah and his men, they invade the base and they raid it for DNA. 2 years later, Mark Russell has a quiet life. He keeps to himself mostly. Mark Russell has a pet wolf. Sees a picture of Maddie. It was the picture after she caught a fish. Mark Russell, thinking of what happened, as he felt terrible. He thinks back to when they were fighting, about like 10 years ago. They were fighting because, yes, he didn't want her to get killed. Yes, Madison, feeling the pressure, quit. Jonah, just a couple years after he took over the base in the Arctic, finds Mark and decides to recruit him. Mark is hesitant at first, not knowing what to do. Tells him about Godzilla. He decides to go with Jonah, and they move. Something's off with the radar. Godzilla is active again. As Jonah and Mark embark on a journey, Eileen Chen decides to see what's going on and recruit a special monarch unit. Godzilla is heading towards Osaka. Mark and Jonah are in the new capital of Japan, doing the Queen Muto body there. So they decide to raid the base where it is at. They steal a bunch of monarch ships is to carry the Muto carcass, as they have machines to carry it and to lift it. As they destroy the base and they use the orca. That's what calls Godzilla to Osaka. Godzilla, enraged, out of the ocean, destroys Osaka. Enraged, Jonah used King Ghidorah's frequency to piss off Godzilla. Godzilla destroys Osaka, stomping and crushing people. Godzilla's foot has a crowd of people jumping in the air. As they fall, the ground crumbles and cracks. Jonah sends Mark to the monarch base. Mark has an intense struggle as him and Jonah's men, the monarch workers, and Mark, seeing a helpless person, pleading to him, let him live, so he can see his kids. Hesitant. But then a shot happens. Jonah is there. He killed the man. And Jonah says, this is what he signed up for. Mark sighs. His grief is still there. And Jonah senses it. As they set bombs across the mountain crevice where a titan lives. They set it off. Awakens. Anguirus destroying the base. Also hearing King Ghidorah's call, decides to see what's going on. Godzilla, enraged, destroys the buildings. Eileen Chen is shocked as there are now 2 titans destroying the city. And Anguirus, enraged, seeing Godzilla, roars at him. Godzilla sees him. It is enraged as they both roar at each other. Anguirus was evolved, have a shielded back to dodge Godzilla's atomic breath and to shield himself from Godzilla's wrath. But now it's put to test again in the new episode of this ancient rivalry. Godzilla and Anguirus fight. They have a titanic clash, and then seeing the Muto carcass on some stolen ships, Jonah sees Godzilla. As Godzilla locks eyes with Jonah as the bay is set and they are leaving. It says, long live the king. Godzilla and Anguirus have a titanic struggle as Godzilla pushes Anguirus on Anguirus' chest and turns around. He whips his tail onto Anguirus' stomach, hurting him. Anguirus is on the ground, defeated, as Godzilla steps on his head and roars. Anguirus, afraid, bows down to Godzilla, as Godzilla then goes after the ships that the Mito is on. A missile hit Godzilla in the face. The Gotengo, as Godzilla has to fight this new machine now. Godzilla is enraged. Yes, the Gotengo is the government's new weapon to defeat monsters and hunt them down. Godzilla sees it. He is enraged and runs towards the weapon. By his maser cannon, Godzilla is thrown and knocked out. A huge explosion happens. Yes, Chen finally gets to him, and they lock eyes. Mark looks completely different to her. He looks like a new person. He doesn't recognize him. He is engulfed in darkness. As he goes off, a tear comes down Mark's eye when he looks away from Chen. There are 6 ships, and all of them transform, covering the Mito carcass. As Mark sees the city engulfed in flames, as the ship slowly closes, it shuts, and there's total darkness. Godzilla's laying down, knocked out, as people surround him as the sun rises. Godzilla's eyes open. He gets up, seeing that the ships are gone. He goes back into the ocean to hunt.